Good morning, and thank you for coming in today. To start, could you tell me a bit about your background and how you got into videography?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I've been passionate about videography for as long as I can remember. I studied film production in college, where I gained a solid foundation in cinematography, editing, and storytelling. After graduating, I started working as a freelance videographer, primarily focusing on corporate videos, commercials, and event coverage. Over the years, I've built a diverse portfolio that includes everything from short films to promotional content for brands. I'm really drawn to the creative process of capturing moments and turning them into compelling visual stories.
That's a great journey. Can you tell me about a particular project that you're especially proud of and why?
One project that stands out is a documentary I worked on about local artisans in my city. It was a passion project, and I was responsible for everything from pre-production to final editing. I wanted to highlight the craftsmanship and dedication that these artists put into their work, so I spent weeks filming them in their studios, capturing both the intricate details of their art and the personal stories behind it. What made this project special was the emotional connection I formed with the subjects and how that translated into the final product. The documentary ended up being featured at a local film festival, which was a huge honor. It was rewarding to see my vision come to life and to know that it resonated with audiences.
That sounds like a meaningful project. When you're working on a commercial or branded video, how do you approach translating the client's vision into the final product?
I believe the key is communication and collaboration. I always start by sitting down with the client to fully understand their vision, brand identity, and goals for the project. I ask detailed questions to clarify their target audience, messaging, and desired tone. Once I have a clear understanding, I create a storyboard or shot list to outline the visual approach. Throughout the shoot, I stay flexible, making adjustments as needed while keeping the client's vision at the forefront. In post-production, I focus on editing in a way that aligns with their brand, whether that means using specific color grading, pacing, or sound design. The goal is to ensure the final video not only looks good, but also effectively communicates the intended message.
That's a thorough process. How do you handle tight deadlines, especially when working on multiple projects at once?
Tight deadlines are definitely common in this field, so I've developed strong time management skills to stay on track. I prioritize tasks based on urgency and complexity, breaking down each project into manageable steps. For instance, I'll allocate time for pre-production, shooting, editing, and revisions, making sure each phase is completed efficiently without sacrificing quality. I also maintain regular communication with clients to manage expectations and keep them updated on progress. When working on multiple projects, I make sure to stay organized by using project management tools and calendars to ensure deadlines are met for all clients. It's about finding the right balance between being efficient and delivering high-quality work.
That's a good approach. Can you talk a bit about your technical expertise? What cameras, equipment, and editing software are you most comfortable working with?
I have experience working with a range of cameras, from DSLRs like the Canon 5D Mark IV to higher-end cinema cameras like the Red Komodo and Sony FS7, depending on the project's requirements. I'm also proficient in using stabilizers, drones, and various lighting setups, ensuring that I can adapt to different environments and shooting conditions. On the post-production side, I'm highly skilled in Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro for video editing, as well as After Effects for motion graphics and color correction. I also use DaVinci Resolve for more advanced color grading. Over the years, I've become comfortable troubleshooting technical issues on set, whether it's dealing with challenging lighting conditions or adapting to last-minute changes in the shoot.
That's a solid technical background. How do you ensure that your work stays creative and fresh, especially when working within the constraints of a client brief?
Creativity is key, even when working within constraints. I approach each project with a fresh perspective, looking for ways to push boundaries and try new techniques while still aligning with the client's brief. Whether it's experimenting with different camera angles, lighting setups, or editing styles, I make it a point to inject creativity wherever I can. I also stay inspired by watching other videographers work, attending workshops, and keeping up with trends in the industry. This helps me bring new ideas to the table, ensuring that my work remains fresh and innovative, even within the scope of a structured brief.
How do you handle feedback from clients, especially when it comes to making revisions or changes to the final cut?
Client feedback is a critical part of the process, and I always welcome it. I see revisions as an opportunity to better align the final product with the client's vision. When receiving feedback, I try to ask clarifying questions to understand the specifics of their concerns and make sure I address them in the best possible way. I also maintain an open dialogue to explain any creative choices I made, ensuring the client understands the reasoning behind certain decisions. That said, I remain flexible and am happy to make adjustments. After all, the goal is to create something the client is proud of. I found that being receptive and collaborative leads to a stronger final product.
That's a great mindset. Lastly, what excites you the most about working in videography, and what are your future goals in this field?
What excites me the most is the ability to tell stories visually. Whether it's a short commercial or a full-length documentary, I love the challenge of capturing moments and turning them into something that evokes emotion and connects with an audience. Looking ahead, my goal is to continue honing my craft and expand into more narrative-driven projects, such as short films or branded content with a strong storytelling component. I also aim to explore new technologies like virtual production or augmented reality to push the boundaries of what's possible in videography. Ultimately, I want to keep growing creatively and professionally while working on projects that inspire me and resonate with viewers.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing your insights and experience with us today. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you.